Ian, you're the author of The Wild Ride to Sobriety. How many days have you been sober, and what advice would you give someone that wants to explore sobriety?
2,712 days, to almost be exact.
That's wild. What advice would you give to someone if they wanted to start sobriety?
Oh, that is a great question, because there are so many people that are sober curious out in the world that I had all these red flags going off and all these signals of like, hey, you should maybe slow down, you should stop. And it's like the big flashing red lights, like stop drinking. And I had all this noise in my head of stop. And until you look in the mirror and make that choice yourself, you're never going to stop anything, whether it be booze, alcohol, sugar, losing weight, whatever your vice is. Until you look in the mirror and go, it's on me, nothing's going to change for you, even with all these red flags going off. And sometimes it's these catastrophic events that happen for people. They get in a car accident or something bad happened, and then they're like, oh man, I got to do something now. Try to avoid that and look in the mirror and go, it's on me, I need to make a lifestyle change, whatever that is.
When you used to drink, how many drinks would you have in a day?
Oh, stop that question. It could be 3 to 43. If it was a Friday or Saturday, man, I could get that thing ramped up in a hot second, because it would start on a Saturday morning with some Bloody Marys and then maybe some beers with buddies on the golf course that would go into vodka sodas after golf. And then it'd be like, hey, let's just keep this thing going. Let's have a party at my house. And shots and Coors Lights and vodka sodas, easily 43 could get hammered.
So did you ease out of alcohol, or did you have an abrupt stop when you explored sobriety?
For me, it was going into rehab. So it was pretty abrupt stop for me, for sure.
Why do you think that worked so well for you?
It was again, like I said, all these red flags were going off. And then when you're in rehab, I went in there for my kids, my wife, my business, my friends, my closest circle, my dog, everybody but me. And on that third day, the good Lord touched me on the shoulder and was like, hey, unless you're right, there ain't anything ever going to be right in your life. So wake up, look in the mirror, get yourself right so you can be right for others.
Talk to me about the success of your business. How did that change when you cut out alcohol?
Well, I used to use alcohol and think alcohol was my absolute superpower, and not drinking in my same business environments, I would have 10x my business the last 15, 20 years without alcohol. So I had those, I relate it to driving down the freeway in the HOV lane, doing 80 miles an hour with the emergency brake on.
Wow.
And now I'm that guy without the emergency brake on.
So at the moment you thought alcohol was really helping you scale your business, but looking back you realized that if you didn't have alcohol you might have even scaled more?
Oh my gosh, alcohol completely held me back in all aspects of my life, not alone business, my kids, my 2 failed marriages because of it. Everything has been better without alcohol in my life.
Your relationship with your kids, how has that changed before and after alcohol?
I'm way more present. I'm way more consistent. They're not like, ooh, what dad am I going to get today? Am I going to get the happy, sad dad? Am I going to get the angry dad? Am I going to get the irritated dad? It is way more consistent. They know exactly what they're getting today.
If you were to be able to talk to your younger self a few years back, what would you have told him in order to get him to maybe explore sobriety sooner?
Oh my gosh, if you didn't drink, you could 10x your company. Yeah, there's so many things to like having a mindset, having a goal, having a mentor, having a life coach. There's so many different things I would tell myself. But more importantly, booze is not your superpower.
Yeah. Can you tell me a story from your book, Wild Ride to Sobriety, and how like that really had an impact on your life?
A story in my book. Well, my first drink was at the age of 1. I was bartending at 13. There's so many stories of like being around booze and the influence of others that now I'd be like, don't you set the tone for yourself. Don't let others set the tone for you. You set the tone for yourself. And you have to look in the mirror and go, it's on me. Don't let all these other outside noises affect you. And it's just that mindset of, I want to be better every single day.
I know journaling's been really helpful for you. What other books did you read that were helpful through this process?
Well, besides my book, Wild Ride to Sobriety, Atomic Habits is a great one where you just stack little baby habits. So I've been sober almost 8 years, and people are like, oh my God, look at your routine. And be like, well, no, my routine started really, really small. I just kept stacking over and over and over. And it looks like a lot now because it's been 7.5 years of stacking little baby gratitude. And then the other one of my favorites is Ed Milet, one more. Like one more rep, one more sales call, wake up a little bit earlier. And obviously his dad was an alcoholic, and he grew up with alcoholism. So a lot of his stories as a childhood resonated with me a lot.
That's awesome. If you were to have one main takeaway from this process in relation to your fitness, like how has your fitness changed drastically?
Well, I lost 80 pounds in my peak of being large Marge in Vegas in 2016.
Wow.
To just, it's my new drug is health, wellness, and fitness. So that has completely changed. Losing weight, you feel good, you're confident. It's done everything to you.
That's awesome. If you were to leave the people watching this with one final piece of advice, what would you tell them?
I'd say look in the mirror and go, it's on you. You want to make a change in your life? Look in the mirror and commit to yourself, it's on you.
Thank you so much, Ian. If they want to check out your book, where can they go?
Check it out on Amazon, Wild Ride to Sobriety.